To the Chairperson of the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, Department of National Defense Secretary Delphine Lorenzana, NDRRM Vice Chair for Rehabilitation and Recovery, NEDA Secretary Carl NDRRMC Executive Director and Office of Civil Defense Administrator Yusek Rick Halad, to our partners from the World Bank and other development and civil society organizations, to our fellow civil servants, both from the national and local government, to our friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, isa pong ligtas at mapayapang hapon sa ating lahat. First of all, I would like to thank the NDRRM Council for inviting us to be part of this important activity to launch the Ready to Rebuild training program and resources. As a regular member of the NDRRM Council and as the umbrella organization of all leagues of LGUs and local government officials in the country, the Union of Local Authorities of the Philippines, or ULAP, endeavors to unite, capacitate, and strengthen LGUs towards the attainment of their fullest development as self-reliant and resilient communities and make them more effective partners in nation building and national development. To enable LGUs to pursue their mandates under the Local Government Code of 1991 and the Philippine Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Act of 2010, building capacity for disaster resilience and disaster risk reduction and management of LGUs as an objective and as a strategy is most crucial. It goes without saying that the significance of performance readiness for local disaster rehabilitation and recovery cannot be overstated, be it in relation to natural calamities or from human-induced disasters. In several instances, you may have heard me say this before, but it is worth underscoring again today that equally important as the National Recovery Plan are the individual LGU's recovery plans, which ought to be our collective strategy and objective in order to aptly respond to the varying scales of priority needs on the ground. Corollary to this, Finance Secretary Carlos Dominguez, during an ULAP dialogue with the country's economic managers, echoed the same proposition when he said that, and I quote, "The national economy is the sum total of all individual local economies," end of quote, which gives recognition to the underlying local contexts as premise to any calamity response and rehabilitation action planning. Hence, ULAP expresses its full support and commitment to the rehabilitation and recovery plans and efforts of the NDRIM Council, including the Disaster Rehabilitation and Recovery Planning Guide and the Ready to Rebuild training program. We believe that these will contribute immensely toward capacitating local government decision makers, planners, and implementers, particularly in the Local Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, in crafting and executing responsive and effective local disaster rehabilitation and recovery plans that are both attuned to having varying contexts in their respective localities and guided by an all-stakeholder national-level disaster recovery framework. Indeed, it is especially vital to continuously develop the capacity of LGUs to calibrate and institutionalize local disaster data management, ideally integrated and streamlined in the ambit of community-based monitoring system, the local disaster risk financing strategy, and the local rehabilitation and recovery planning and programming. In our roadmap to put the disaster-stricken community back on its feet, it is essential that we adopt the Build Back Better principle. The United Nations refers to Build Back Better as a holistic concept to generate resilience through well-balanced disaster risk reduction measures, including restoration of infrastructure, revitalization of livelihood and the economy, and the restoration of local culture and environment. In its 2018 Build Back Better report, the World Bank has outlined how to build back better, which is to Number 1, build back stronger or being more productive and more resilient. Number 2, build back faster in limiting the impact of shocks. And number 3, build back more inclusive, ensuring that nobody gets left behind. It is in this light that ULAP has taken the initiative of pushing the momentum of a movement towards environment-friendly green economy as a conscious improvement on past economic decisions in recognition of our extreme vulnerability to natural disasters as a country located along the Ring of Fire and the Typhoon Belt. For your information, ULAP endeavors to inspire local government units through our webinars to adopt the green development approach that consciously observes the environmental risks and enhances the chances of creating resilient local economies, local communities, and local ecosystems. We also try to raise awareness on the urgency of accelerating the Philippines' low-carbon development in post-pandemic scenarios through the nationally determined contributions, and promote better appreciation of the role and contributions of LGUs to low-carbon development via a strategic transitioning to a climate-resilient economic recovery path. Let me end by expressing our profound gratitude to President Rodrigo Roa Duterte and to the Interim Council for unfaltering support and opposite guidance to LGUs, especially during difficult situations such as the deadly COVID-19 pandemic and the onslaught of the destructive typhoons, earthquakes, and other natural calamities. It is my distinct privilege to be part of this activity. May we continue to heal and recover as one in the spirit of bayanihan. Maraming salamat at mabuhay po tayong lahat.